I would like to share with you today the story of a saint, or a soon-to-be saint, who inspires me very much. His name is Venerable Carlo Acutis. He was born in Great Britain in 1991 and died at the age of 15 in Milan, where he had been living with his Italian family. He was declared a servant of God and later made a venerable in 2018. And his life is an inspiring message in our world today, I think especially as we live in such a technologically driven culture. Some people say he might be the future patron saint of the internet. Carlo Acutis was a normal teenage boy. He enjoyed playing soccer and spending time with his friends, and he struggled with many of the same challenges that any teenager experiences in our modern world. But for Carlo, his faith was his strength, especially the Holy Eucharist. He said, "Jesus is my dear friend, and the Eucharist my highway to heaven." He was fascinated by Eucharistic miracles and very talented with computer science. So he took his talents with technology and his interest in the Eucharist and combined them together to create a website cataloging the Eucharistic miracles around the world, inspiring many other people to learn from the message of the Eucharist. As he was diagnosed with leukemia, he underwent very much suffering, but he offered up that suffering for our Holy Father, for the Church, and for the Lord, offering it as his gift to God, as he was so devoted to our Lord Jesus Christ, who was broken in the Eucharist, and his body shared to unite the whole world and to give us the strength to endure suffering. Venerable Carlo Acutis challenges each one of us to use our own unique talents to grow in holiness. One of my favorite quotes of his, he says, "When we go out in the sun, we get a suntan. But when we sit in front of Jesus Christ in the Eucharist, we become saints." Venerable Carlo Acutis was a normal teenage boy. He did many things with his friends and on the computer and with technology. But more important than anything else, he spent time praying before the Lord, receiving him often in the Holy Eucharist, and allowing that sacrament to touch his heart, to transform his life. The Holy Mass is the source and summit of our Catholic faith. It is from that Eucharist that we are able to become united with our Lord, who comes down and offers himself, transforming the simple bread and wine into his most precious body and blood. Many of you might be wondering who the current patron saint of the internet is. That's Saint Isidore of Sevilla, who was responsible for compiling one of the first encyclopedias. I think our world today is in need of a more modern saint to help us to transform our technology as well, to use it as a means to spread the message of God, to inspire other people, whether it be through our online platforms or other social media. So I encourage you today, when you struggle with suffering in your life, when you're stuck with technological problems, as so many of us experience on a day-to-day basis, when you're not sure how to live your faith in the modern world, offer your prayers through the intercession of Venerable Carlo Acutis. Ask him to teach you how to live a life of holiness in our world which struggles to surmount the challenges of technology, globalization, and even isolation. May Venerable Carlo Acutis teach each one of us to offer our sufferings for the salvation of the world, using all of the talents that God has given to each one of us.